Welcome back, everyone. We have finally made it to the last chapter of our Technology Overview Explainer, where we are going to synthesize the massive geopolitical and physical impacts of the current AI boom. Over the course of the series, we've looked at the software, the hardware, and the data, but today we're zooming way out to look at the massive global structures being built around these technologies and what they actually mean for our shared future.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at building the AI empire, the AGI ideology, expanding into smart spaces, defining AI in 2030, and finally, a democratic tech future. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. Building the AI Empire, the Physical Cost. First things first, we've got to pull back the curtain on the whole magic of AI to reveal the real physical and human costs of modern tech. Drawing from Karen Howe's incredible reporting, we need to define these tech giants not merely as companies, but as modern empires. Literally, they operate on an extractive 19th century colonial model, and this isn't just a convenient metaphor, it's exactly how they are structured. Just like historical empires seized land and minerals to enrich a small elite at the center, today's AI giants are hoovering up the world's data and energy to concentrate unprecedented wealth and power. There is this massive disconnect, right? On our screens, we get this utopian illusion. We're happily chatting with a helpful bot to do our homework or build strategy slides. But the gritty reality? It's underpaid data annotators in Kenya making just a few dollars an hour to sift through toxic content, also those platforms stay safe for the rest of us. Or look at Chile, where local communities are watching their water and energy systems get totally strained just to run the giant data centers required to fuel this AI boom. And this number brilliantly illustrates the sheer physical scale of the problem. 30 to 40%. AI-related data center buildouts are projected to account for 30 to 40% of all new U.S. electricity demand this decade. Just think about that for a second. That is a staggering amount of energy dedicated to a single technological sector, and it's putting hyperscale grid constraints at the absolute forefront of our global challenges. So it all comes down to this forest metaphor. Big tech is choosing to bulldoze a path for progress, ignoring the fact that we could take a winding, much more sustainable route using smaller, locally controlled models. The narrative that we absolutely must accept massive energy extraction as the inevitable price of progress is just a product of the empire's marketing. We don't have to clear-cut the forest, you know? We can choose to build highly efficient, targeted systems that respect local ecosystems. Section 2. The AGI ideology, fueling the empire. Now, to sustain this crazy level of global extraction, you need a seriously powerful unifying belief system. Insiders are deeply what you'd call AGI-pilled. They genuinely believe they are building a godlike artificial general intelligence that's going to end poverty or cure cancer, which makes it incredibly difficult for the public to say no to them. AGI acts exactly like that enchanted mirror in Harry Potter. It just reflects your deepest desires. If you want endless economic growth, it promises that. If you want personalized education for every child, well, it promises that too. You can actually see this utopian theology totally crash into corporate greed when you look at OpenAI's chaotic plumbing. They launched as this idealistic nonprofit for humanity and then nested a for-profit arm inside it just to raise billions. Obviously, early employees who thought they joined a charity suddenly found themselves in a ruthless startup. That exact contradiction, this clash between mission and revenue, is what led to the explosive boardroom drama and the abrupt firing and then reinstatement of Sam Altman. All right, Section 3, expanding into smart spaces. Let's look at AI in the physical world. Moving from the cloud into the real world, AI is fundamentally altering the environments where we live and work into what we call smart spaces. Grounding this in reality, intelligent video sensors and computer vision are currently being used in factories to monitor workers and improve safety compliance in real time. We are seeing companies deploy solutions where video acts as the ultimate IoT sensor, like instantly flagging missing or misused PPE on a factory floor. These spaces rely on a massive convergence of tech, processing an astonishing 2.5 exabytes of video data every single day. It basically works in a three-step dance. Step 1, connected IoT and 3D LiDAR sensors gather all the raw environmental data. Step 2, AI instantly analyzes those video streams. And Step 3, that analysis is turned into real-time operational improvements, totally transforming physical environments. Notice how these systems scale. We aren't just predicting warehouse logistics bottlenecks. These sensors are mapping out complex traffic flows in cities, predicting hazardous spills, and this is huge, protecting lone workers from falls. Slips and trips are super common hazards, and if you're a lone factory worker, it can normally be hours before someone finds you. With AI video analytics, the system detects the fall in real time and instantly dispatches help. It's a complete game changer for physical safety.
Section 4. Defining AI in 2030. The defining questions.
So, what happens when we project all these massive trends out to the end of the decade? MIT Technology Review neatly lays out the impending global collisions here, showing that AI is absolutely not just a software vertical anymore. It's the foundational layer dictating the future. By 2030, we won't just be talking about chatbots, we will be navigating an intense geopolitical race between the US and China for tech supremacy. We'll be facing the brutal reality of automated warfare, wrestling with this concept of an economic singularity, and of course, trying to figure out how to power all these hyperscale systems without breaking our energy grids.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5. A democratic tech future. With the stakes literally this high, we have to explore how we can push back and steer toward a responsible, democratized technological future. Encouragingly, there's some good news. Looking at corporate adoption, over 2/3 of organizations are already implementing formal methodologies and frameworks for responsible tech design. You've got 23% strongly agreeing and 44% somewhat agreeing that they have official policies in place. Companies are actually trying to eliminate algorithmic bias and think about inclusive design.
But here is the catch. The primary motivation driving this responsibility is mostly just fear of the government. Regulation remains the critical lever. When asked what drives their initiatives, complying with regulation was the top reason. 52% in India, 29% in the US, and 26% in the UK. This just highlights that while self-governance is happening, strong, thoughtful government frameworks are absolutely essential to force these companies to consider the unintended consequences of their algorithms.
Because democracy and unchecked empires just cannot coexist. We must actively build public, civic alternatives that prioritize human flourishing over sheer optimization. And we aren't talking about smashing the machines here. We are talking about bringing them under democratic control. That means taking antitrust action against tech giants, giving local communities a real say in whether a data center gets to drain their water supply, securing robust labor protections for data workers, and funding public compute infrastructure and community-controlled OpenAI models. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to consider the very next time a tech giant promises you a magical AI future. Ask yourself, whose future is actually being promised here, and whose forest is being cut down to build it? Keep that question in the back of your mind as we move toward 2030. The future of intelligence is ours to shape, but only if we actively participate in designing it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I'll see you next time.